Stylist Icon here, going over a little Arrow episode 5 or 6, I believe. This one is entitled Reverse Rewind. See, I'm all over the place. Reset. This episode is entitled Reset, and this will actually be a short one because there's not really a lot to uncover here. The episode Reset is basically Groundhog Day. At the end of last episode, Oliver, Diggle, and Laurel got shot by darts, by Lila. So Oliver, he wakes up, presumably like 2 or 3 days later, he wakes up in his house. The kids come in, they're just like, hey, aren't you going to a fundraiser? And he's like, what fundraiser? We're trying to take down the monitor. And they're just like, oh, Lila explained all that. She apologized, and you guys are good now. And he's just like, yeah, but the monitor's still out there. So he goes to the party. He sees John. John's acting like nothing happened, and then he was just like, yo, bro, what happened to getting shot in the neck with darts? And he was like, oh yeah, Lila apologized. And he's just like, what the hell? So Renee's there, and Renee's just like, hell, the mayor wants to speak to you. And then he's like, why does Mayor Pollard want to speak to me? And he's like, Mayor Pollard. And then he goes and talks to the mayor, and it's Quentin Lance, another return. Loving the returns on final season of Arrow. So now we got the Quentin Lance return. He's the mayor of Star City. Oliver is completely freaking out. And then Renee ends up telling them that, hey, listen, there's like a hostage bomb situation. So they go down to the CCPD, and while they're downstairs, and while they're they're investigating the bomb situation, the bomb explodes, everybody dies, and then Oliver wakes up in the exact same place where he was in the beginning of the episode. So we're stuck in Groundhog Day, and Oliver ends up repeating the same day over and over and over again. The second time he's there, because Quentin died the first time, he's like, well, shit, I gotta prevent this. So he tries to stop, Quentin. He tries to stop Quentin's death again, and when he tries to stop his death again, Laurel's downstairs in front of the bomb, and then Laurel is just like, well, you're not, he's like, what are you doing here? And then she's like, what are you doing here? And then she's just like, well, you're not going to remember anyway. He's like, why? Because we're stuck in a time loop. And then come to find out, Laurel's also stuck in the time loop. John isn't. Diggle wasn't part of the time loop. He got removed from it. They were, so the two of them, they're trying to defuse the bomb, and then like Laurel didn't see. And this funny thing, I don't know what possessed Laurel to even want to go downstairs to investigate the bomb situation, because Laurel at that moment didn't even know that Quentin was alive. She didn't even know that Quentin was there. She was just like, she just went downstairs to to the bomb. Maybe she was just trying to do the right thing, trying to be the good canary. So they can't defuse the bomb, and then right before the bomb goes off, he's like, all right, well, we're going to wake up in the same spot, so when we wake up, just meet me at Palmer Tech, and then the thing explodes. So the two of them meet up again. And again, this is a repeat cycle. They end up defusing the bomb, and then after they defuse the bomb, Quentin gets shot. They end up taking, something. They end up preventing Quentin from getting shot. Then he dies someplace else, and then they realize that Quentin is the objective of this time loop, because the whole time they're like, how do we break the time loop? How do we break the time loop? And the point of breaking the time loop was to keep Quentin alive, and that was their mission, to try to keep Quentin alive. Now, the weird thing is, in order to keep him alive, and I think Quentin even said it, because he was just like, because Oliver even told him at one point, he was just like, yeah, we're trying to keep you alive. And he was just like, so your master plan of keeping me alive is basically bringing me into the danger? And I thought the same thing. Like, when I watched it, I was like, if they figured out that the whole way to save, the world, or to break the time loop is to keep Quentin safe, why are you bringing him to the danger? They brought him to the bomb, they brought him to the warehouse where they thought the guy, when they found out the person who was trying to kill him, they brought him to that guy's house. So I'm like, don't do that. That's gonna make it worse. But I digress. And then, so then, but it wasn't working. He kept dying, and the two of them, Laurel and Oliver, they didn't know what to do, and they couldn't figure it out. So then finally, Laurel just got to the point where she was like, yo, I can't do this shit no more. She was like, Quentin keeps dying. I can't keep watching Quentin die over and over and over again. She's like, yo, I'm tapping out. And then Quentin ended up getting shot, and then she was talking, and then Oliver was like, no, we're going to save him. And then Oliver goes out, to try to save him. And then Laurel spoke to him, and she was just like, listen, I didn't get a chance to thank you or say goodbye to you the first time. And she was like, at least now I get a chance to say goodbye. And she says goodbye to him. Quentin dies, and then Oliver comes back, and then he's like, all right, we'll try again the second time. And then Laurel was like, no. She was like, I'm out. She was like, I'm tapping out. She's like, I can't keep watching him die over and over again. And then she's like, you know what? when he died the first time, I never got a chance to say goodbye. She was like, this time I got a chance to say goodbye, tell him how I feel about him, and she's like, I made my peace with that, and she was like, you know what, I'm happy with that. She's like, I'm fine with that decision, and I'm glad I was able to say goodbye. And then after that, when they woke, so then when they disappeared, and then they woke up the next day, Oliver was by himself and Laurel was gone. And you would think at that point he would have gotten it, but Oliver was just like, no, I'm gonna try to save you. And it even got to the point where they were running from there was a group of people that were trying to kill both him and Quentin. And then Quentin even had to tell him, because I think Quentin got shot then too. And Quentin even had to tell him, he was like, look, dude, he was like, stop fighting. He was just like, I'm fine with what's going on. He was like, I accept my fate. He was like, I did a lot for the city. He was like, he basically told him to let it go. And then Oliver admitted he was just like, one of the failures of his Green Arrow career was the fact that he couldn't save Quentin, and that was something that always ate him up. But at that point, Oliver accepted it. Like, it wasn't so much the thing of stop trying because certain things are just inevitable and you can't prevent certain things. It wasn't that. It was more so like, just accept the fact that although you're going to break your neck to do everything that you can do, you're not always going to win. Like, there are moments where you are going to lose. And you have to be okay with taking those losses. Just like with The Flash. With the time travel thing, it's like Jay Garrick told Barry at one point, he was like, yo, you can't keep taking a do-over and going back in time every time you mess something up. There was like, sometimes there are going to be moments where you're going to make a mistake and you're just going to have to live with the results and live with the consequences. And then Oliver finally let it go, like he said his goodbyes to Quentin, and then, he got taken to another room, he was talking to Lila, and then Lila even told him, she was just like, because Lila's still working for the Monitor, Lila was just like, yes, the point of all this was for you to accept your fate, that you're going to die in the crossover, and you're going to have to accept that, stop trying to fight it, stop trying to kill the Monitor, stop trying to come up with loopholes, just accept it, Oliver. And I thought he was going to give like Lila the backhand, so, but he came around on it. Like, Oliver's just like, yeah, you're right. And then Oliver's convinced now that he has to die in this crisis. So then after he accepted that, both he and Laurel woke up in a tent. They were both wearing like military, like camouflage. They were wearing like green camouflage clothes. They were having a conversation. They were like, all right, so where are we now? What are we going to do now? And then when the two of them got up and walked out of the tent, then like Mia, Connor, Diggle, and what's his son name? William. They all showed up, and then they were just like, Dad, why are we here? What's going on? And then he was just like, they was like, where are we? And the Monitor put all of them on Lian Yu. So this will be interesting because I don't know at what point is this present day Lian Yu? Is this the past Lian Yu? Are we going to see Shadow? Are we going to see Yao Fei? It would be really cool if we saw Yao Fei. We're going to see Yao Fei. Is Slade going to be on the island? Like, where are we at? So I'm very interested in this episode. Like, I'm extremely interested in this episode because I want to see at what point during time are we on the island and what character of Arrow's past is going to pop up in this episode. So that's the last episode before the crossover. So I'm even more excited to see what's going to happen that leads us into the crossover. So that was it. Again, like, short episode of Arrow. Like I said, because basically the whole episode was like one scene replayed over and over again. There wasn't a lot to talk about. So, but that was it. It's a cool episode. Shout out to Quentin Lance. Glad to see him back. Thanks for tuning in. Leave a comment, like, or subscribe. I got my Titans season finale up on the channel. Black Lightning coming. Black Lightning's already on the channel. Flash coming, and we're going to do some crossover stuff. So take care, and until next time, as always, guys, I'm out this bitch.